Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we living. Nobody really saw the Raiders versus Bears being a marquee Week 7 matchup, and that was even if starting quarterbacks Justin Fields and Jimmy Garoppolo were to start in that game. Instead, we are going to get the quarterback duel of Tyson Bagent and Brian Hoyer. Now, Bagent is an undrafted Division II quarterback. Will be the first Division II quarterback to start in the game since 2010. John Kitna and Todd Bauman started that season. Meanwhile, Brian Hoyer, yes, a longtime veteran, but mostly has been a reserve. Started 40 games in his career, with 22 of them coming in the 2014 and 15 season. So definitely you could consider it nondescript, unremarkable quarterback matchup. But CBS Sports attempted to name some of the more unremarkable quarterback matchups in the past 25 years. So we see Tyson Bagent versus Brian Hoyer. Rare matchup brings to mind most unexpected quarterback duels over past 25 years. So by Jeff Kerr. So first, he has 2017 Connor Cook of the Oakland Raiders versus Brock Osweiler of the Houston Texans. This was a playoff game, believe it or not. Derek Carr was injured in what was looking like a potential MVP season. Cook only career, well, sorry, his only career start was this playoff game. Osweiler, of course, had his moments with the Broncos led led many to believe that he could be a long-time starting quarterback. Definitely was not the case. 2007, J.P. Losman versus Cleo Lemon. Now, Losman was a first round, what you could consider a draft bust. Didn't perform well for the Bills at all, didn't have much of a career. Meanwhile, Cleo Lemon was a starting quarterback on a 2000 Dolphins team that was absolutely awful. Lemon started just 8 games in his career, winning one. Losman 33 games, 10-23 record. Not what you expect from a first round draft pick. 1999, Doug Peterson. Yes, that Doug Peterson that won a Super Bowl as the coach of the Eagles, now as the coach of the Jaguars, was a backup quarterback for a decent amount of time in the NFL versus Kent Graham of the Giants. So as you see, bridge quarterback Peterson was until Donovan McNabb was ready. I am a Giants fan, man. That time in Giants history was awful. Whether it was Kent Graham, Dave Brown, Tommy Maddox, Danny Cannell, Jesse Palmer getting action, they just could not find a good quarterback until Kerry Collins at least did lead them to a Super Bowl, and then of course Eli Manning, a very lengthy amount of time. So definitely not a dynamic duel in this game. You see Peterson went 3-14 as a starting quarterback in his career. Graham went 17-21. This one, I don't know how this one's not higher. I'd put this one above Graham versus Peterson. That is Charlie Fry versus Andrew Walter in 2006. Believe it or not, Andrew Walter was probably a worse Raiders quarterback than Jamarcus Russell. Meanwhile, Charlie Fry did nothing in his career to write home about. You see, Fry went 7-16 as a starter. Walter 2-7. Last, Todd Bauman, as I mentioned, one of the last quarterbacks from a Division II college to start an NFL game, versus Mike McMahon. I believe Bauman took over for Culpepper in for some time. And Mike McMahon actually did go to my alma mater of Rutgers. Joey Harrington, of course, was a complete draft bust. And Mike McMahon would sometimes take over for him as the Lions quarterback. Had his moments, but again, definitely a nondescript quarterback. Bauman 1-6 as a starter. McMahon 3-11. So that's five unexpected quarterback duels that Jeff Kerr of CBS mentioned, which do you think is the most nondescript, the most obscure quarterback matchup out of all of those? I know Cook versus Osweiler was in playoffs. That's probably why they put it first. But I personally would have to go either Losman versus Lemon or Fry versus Walter. Then again, Bauman versus McMahon is pretty nondescript too. Um, while Bagent versus Hoyer is nondescript, too fair. I mean, I wouldn't consider Brian Hoyer obscure because he's had such a long time in the NFL and has made at least 40 career starts. So I wouldn't consider this the most obscure quarterback matchup. But let me know in the comments if you could think of any others as well. Thought this was a fun article to read and share with you guys. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.